Why do they do weird, creepy shit? Why do they put on a mask and the robe and do the plays and the owl with the and then sacrificing? I don't know, whatever.
Why do you have a giant owl? I mean,
Exactly.
Why do you do that?
What is that in human nature? Because I don't think that rich people are different than not rich people. What is it about wealth and power that brings that out of people?
Well, part of it is the ritual aspect of it. And yeah, that clearly is a ritual. I mean, it's pretty simple. Rituals are just a series of actions performed in a precise sequence to produce an effect. That describes a lot of things. It describes plays, symphonies, every movie you've ever seen. A movie is a ritual. Yeah. It is a series of actions carried out in a precise sequence to produce an effect, with an added soundtrack to cue you to what emotions you're supposed to be feeling.
It's a great idea. So the rich people should just go to a movie, or maybe just go to a Taylor Swift concert. Like, why do you have to?
Well,
why the owl thing?
Part of it is to create this kind of sense, I suppose, of group solidarity. You know, you're all going to appear, and also a way of sort of transcending yourself in a way. You know, when you put on the robe, it's like putting on a uniform. You are in some way a different or more important person. It's a ritual. Okay, the key ritual at Bohemian Grove is a thing called the cremation of care. And cremation, and that's what it's supposed to be. We're going to put all of our, we're rich, important people. We have to make all of these critical decisions. Life is so hard. So we're going to go out here in the woods and we're going to kick back and we're all going to gather around the lake and then we're going to carry, it's wicker. It's not a real person. And how would you know? And then and this is the cremation of our care, but it's a ritual which is meant to produce a sense of solidarity and relief among those people who are there. The question comes down with the rituals is how seriously do you take them? How important is this to the people who carry them out? And the interesting answer to that is that for some people, it's just boring. I mean, there are probably people standing around the owl who think this is ridiculous and can't wait for it to get over with. There are the people who are kind of excited about it and get caught up into it. But other people can take it very seriously. It's all the matter of the intention that you have about what the ritual means. And I don't mean to suggest by that there's anything necessarily sinister about what's going on, but it is clearly a ritual carried out for some kind of group reinforcing purpose. And you're absolutely right. You don't have to do it that way. That's not I've gone to summer camps and we never carried out mock sacrifices in front of an owl. All right. We did all those other things. We didn't even have any robes either. So it goes beyond merely a rich guy summer camp, although that's an aspect of it. But it also, I think, often obscures it. Focusing on Bohemian Grove at the getaway of the club ignores that the club is around all the time. That's what's at the center of this. It is the club and its members. So despite all the talk about no weaving spiders coming around here, one of the other features of the summer meeting are things called lakeside talks. And this often people are invited to go there. And one of the people who was invited, I think around 1968, was Richard Nixon, who was making his political comeback. And he was invited to give a talk where very important people are listening. And Nixon, in his memoirs, realized what was going on. He was being auditioned as to whether or not he was going to be read. He recognized that that was really the beginning of his second presidential campaign. He was being vetted. So one of the main theories, call it a conspiracy theory or not, about the Bohemian Club and the gatherings is that people of wealth and influence gather together. And whether or not it's part of the agenda or not, inevitably you're going to talk about things of interest. But to me, the mere fact that you invite people in, political leaders, to give lakeside talks means that there are weaving spiders which are going on. And it is a perfect private venue to vet people for political office.
I mean, yeah, where else are you going to do it? If you're interested in vetting, if you're interested in powerful people selecting.
Well, see, here's the question. Are these guys actually picking who's going to be president? Is that the decision which is being made? Or are they just deciding what horses they're going to back?
Right.
I think the latter is the simpler version of it, but it doesn't mean it's the other way around. But these are the kinds of, I mean, Nixon was, there was the whole 1960 thing. So he's the new Nixon. Remember this, and this is where the new Nixon apparently made a good impression on the right people, because he did indeed get the Republican nomination, and he did indeed become president.
Well, there could also be a much more innocent explanation of really it's powerful people getting together and having conversations, and through that conversation influencing each other's view of the world, and just having a legitimate discussion of policies, foreign policy.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, why would you assume that people are not going to do that?
It's the owl thing with the robes. Like what?
Why the owl and why the robes?